everybody, and welcome to another episode of Insufficient Friends. I'm Kevin. She's Nikki.
Hi.
And Nick, it is, well, technically, I guess football season kind of started last night-ish. Last night was the Hall of Fame game. So, with that, my uncle and cousin are joining us again this week to talk about the NFL. Doug, Braden, welcome to the show again. It seems like we just had you on to talk about a Super Bowl preview, and now you're back. It's kind of amazing that it's already been 6-7 months since we did that. So, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Yeah, doing well. Yeah, thank you for having us back.
Yeah, thanks for coming on again. This is gonna be. We're just gonna talk about football again, but first we're gonna do shout outs. Doug, Braden, you guys said you had a couple people. Doug, who did you want to shout out this week?
Well, just a couple people. Braden, obviously, moved into an apartment a couple weeks ago. I think that's awesome. I remember being that age. I'm on the different end of it this time, so it's a little different. But I still, I'm very happy for him. Ashlyn and her boyfriend, which Ashlyn's my daughter, they got a puppy last night.
Oh.
They got a little Havanese puppy, so shout out to them. That's a new addition. And then it's a little late, but my brother, your father, just had his 57th birthday a few days ago.
Yes,
so
he did.
a big shout out to him. So happy 57th.
Yes, he did. He's getting old, and it's hilarious to me.
You know what? I tease him all the time. You're a lot closer to 60 than you are 50 now, and I won't even tell you what he usually says, so it's not appropriate. So.
Oh man, Braden, did you have any shout outs for this week?
I'll shout Ashlyn out too. We all went with them, so it was cool to see them, and they picked out a cute little puppy. So
Nice.
I'll shout her out.
Okay. Nick, did you have any for this week? I don't think we had anything on Instagram I don't know about Instagram because I never check that, but YouTube or anything. So, yeah. Anyway, like I said, this week we are talking about football. It's just getting started. Like last night was, when we're recording this, last night was the Hall of Fame game. And which means the preseason has started and the regular season is like a month away. So yeah, what are you guys most excited for? I mean, football's back, fantasy football's back. What are you guys looking forward to most about this season? Is there anything in particular?
Buffalo chicken dip.
Yeah, it everything. Yeah, no, I was waiting to see if Braden was going to respond. No, I just like to see all the new additions on each team, the different coaching, hires and stuff like that. You got a lot of free agents and see what the rookies are going to do. The game's always so much faster for these rookies. They admit it the first year. They're like, yeah, I didn't realize how much faster the game was. And so just kind of see, what you get as far as teams that were good last year, teams that are going to be good this year, and just all the fun stuff that goes with that. So I don't know. Football should be year round in my opinion. So this is the best time of the year other than Christmas, but it all kind of blends together eventually. So.
Yeah. Braden, is there anything in particular that you're looking forward to?
I was going to say the rookies, just to see what they have.
Okay.
But yeah, looking forward to Red Zone, and obviously I'm a Seahawks fan, so I'm looking forward to seeing what Darnold, and we'll see what version we get. But I'm looking forward to the season.
Okay. Doug, you mentioned coaches. There's 7, if I'm correct on this. There's 7 new coaches this year, or moved coaches. I guess a few of them aren't new. Pete Carroll's not new. He's been coaching for 1,000 years. But is there any, out of those 7, is there any that you think you expect to do great? Who do you think was the best out of those? What do you think about some of those?
Vrabel going to the Patriots. I thought he did a great job with the Titans and stuff. He's, he played for the Patriots. He's defensive minded, which is how New England's always been built. I mean, even with Brady, it was their defense that was winning them championships a lot of times. So um, I'm really curious to see how he can turn that team around. Drake Mays, we'll see. We'll see. I'm not big on him and stuff, but I am a firm believer that you win championships with defense.
Mm-hmm.
And Vrabel's just a great defensive minded coach. So to me, that was the best new hire. Even though, like you said, he's coached before, but still on a different team. That was my opinion of who will do the best as the new coaches. So.
Well, the Patriots can't do much worse than they did last year because they were fourth worst in the league, and they only got that. They were only one game off of tying for the worst. So they
it'll be interesting. I mean, even if you only win eight or nine games, you get a 5-6 game improvement. So but I think it'll take a couple years to build the foundation, but he brings the right mindset, I think, to how NFL or a game should be played.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Braden, what do you think? Is there any coach?
I had the same answer. I think Vrabel was the best hire. I think the most interesting will be Ben Johnson. I'm curious to see what changes he makes. I thought Chicago was going to be better last year, but I think maybe this year they make that jump. But I think he's the most interesting, but Vrabel was the best coach or best hire in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Is there any? I didn't bring this up, and you guys didn't have this on your list, but is there anybody that you guys think is on the hot seat this year? Like any coaches that you expect to maybe be gone after this? Because one I have thought about is I can't think of his name right now in Miami, but I think he's got a short leash at the moment. But I don't know what you guys think. Is there any specific coach that you think is on a short lease for this year?
It's got to be Dayball and Stefanski from, the Giants and Browns. Both those guys are probably going to be gone after this year, depending how the season goes.
Mm-hmm.
I think McDaniel might get fired too, depending on. I think last year because Tua missed so many games, I think he got like a pass. But if they're not good this year, that could be interesting. I think he's definitely on the hot seat.
Okay. Doug, you got any?
Yeah, actually, that was kind of one of my bold predictions. Is I feel that Tomlin is going to get fired from the Steelers, which that they've only had 3 coaches in their whole history.
Yes.
But I think Tomlin will get fired. I think McDaniel will get fired, and I'm predicting that Tomlin's going to be the Dolphins coach for the next year. So yeah, that is I don't know.
Bold prediction. Yes.
Pittsburgh doesn't like to change coaches, but
they do not.
They got to do something. You can't be 8-8 on the playoff bubble every year and lose your first playoff. I mean, they just need some. I think they just need a breath of fresh air in that locker room. So
I understand that. I would agree with that, and I know my dad, being a big Steelers fan, would agree that they need some kind of change too. I'm sure.
Yeah, I think it'll be a big change because I think they're gonna. I mean, obviously, Aaron's like a 1-year deal. I don't think they have their future quarterback on the team. So I think you get a new coach, you bring in a rookie, and you start, kind of building the defense is what they've always, built everything around. But the league is slowly changing as much as, like I said, I still think defense wins championships. It's got to be kind of more balanced in what their team is. They're just all defense for the last handful of years.
Okay, so switching from coaches to free agents, is there any? Who do you guys think? Braden, we'll start with you. Who do you guys think? Who do you think is the best free agent pickup in the offseason?
So I went with a team that was in our division. I think the Rams signing Devontae Adams was a really good move. It concerns me because I think the Rams are going to be really good. You put him alongside Nakua. Stafford was the big question mark, whether he would retire or come back. So assuming Stafford stays healthy, Adams is obviously getting older, but if he stays healthy and you got all those guys out there together alongside the Rams defense, I think they're going to be really good. I think that was a really good signing.
All right. Doug, what about you?
Well, you stole my thunder because I like Devontae Adams, but I had another one. Jair Alexander he played for the Packers. He went to the Ravens, who already have a great defense, and I think they just improved their defense. I mean, I love how the guy plays. I think that was between him and Devontae. I think that's a great pickup. I think Baltimore's just getting more and more stacked on the defensive side with that pickup.
Okay. We talked a little bit about coaches. You guys just did players. Is there a team that you think will have a big improvement over last year? You know, you talked about New England getting a new coach. Vrabel going to New England, and they were one of the worst teams in the league last year. So hopefully they get a big improvement with that. Is there any other teams that you guys think will have a big turnaround this year, or is that like the top team at the moment? Do you think that's going to be the biggest?
I was talking to him about this at the end of last year. I think Carolina. I can see Carolina potentially even sneaking into the playoffs. Bryce Young was playing really well. Their team was fighting just as like a team. They weren't winning games, but they were very competitive the last month of the season. And I can see that Chuba Hubbard, they signed him to a long-term deal. So I can see Carolina. They were a 5-win team last year. I can see them. I still don't think they'll win that division, but I can see them potentially getting a wild card.
Okay.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Once they benched Bryce Young for a few games, I don't know if it was a mental thing, but man, he came back and he looked like a totally different player. He looked like what he did at Alabama. It was neat. But my big team this year is Arizona Cardinals. I like what they did. I think Marvin Harrison has bulked up. I think he's going to show why he was so good in college. I think he bulked up, and I don't know. There's something about their coach and everything that I just absolutely love, Jonathan Gannon, and I think they're headed in the right direction.
Okay. Nick, do you have anything to contribute? Because you look very bored at the moment.
No, the only thing I was gonna say, but I didn't want to interrupt you guys when you were talking about the Steelers. I remember I was in like third grade, and there was a span of like 6 months where the only books I checked out from the library were about Troy Polamalu. And then I had like his jersey. I had so many things that were just Troy Polamalu, and then I donated them all. And it was like a 6 month span. And that was literally the only thing I had to contribute to this conversation.
Okay.
And I think he still has all that hair.
Yeah.
He does.
Yeah. I haven't seen him in
He does
recent
those hair
commercials.
commercials.
Yeah,
I know.
I haven't seen him in anyone current, but that's how it's kind of like Bob Ross. Everyone knows him for his hair. So,
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so from most improved team to most disappointing, do you guys see any team dropping off majorly for this year after doing well last year?
go ahead, Bray.
I said Pittsburgh. I don't think they'll make the playoffs. And then another playoff team last year, I think Houston. I don't know. Last year I think Stroud struggled so much because of that offensive line, but I don't think it got much better this year. So I know Nico got hurt, and obviously Tank Dell had that nasty injury late in the year, but I don't think they'll be very good. I still think they're the best team in that division. I just think that division is a really bad division as a whole. So I think they'll make the playoffs, but I think there are a lot of other AFC teams that are a lot better than them. So I think they could definitely have a disappointing season.
Okay.
Yeah, I got the Steelers and Vikings missing the playoffs, and they both made the playoffs last year. But my two teams are the Niners and Dolphins. I know they just signed Purdy to what 50, 55, $60 million to quarterback. I just wonder if the window for the Niners is closed. I'm not convinced McCaffrey's going to come back and be what everyone likes McCaffrey to be or what he has been. He's just all those injuries keep building and building and building, and I just don't see it. And then, like I said, I was talking earlier about McDaniel. I just don't see the Dolphins having a good year at all. So there's just too much off season with Hill, and I don't know. I'm convinced once in a while too. Just his heart isn't always in it. I know he is a good player. I don't know. Those two teams just don't feel it. I don't feel it this year for them. So.
Okay.
Is McDaniel that young guy who's like known for being like a little crazy?
Yeah, he's
Is that
a
what
little
I'm thinking
weird,
of?
but
Yeah.
The Dolphins
I think
coach.
I-
yeah,
He's gone viral a couple times, right? For like doing random things. I think I've seen
Yeah.
videos of him.
Yeah, the one yeah.
Yeah, he
I'm
doesn't
pretty
tie
sure
his
that's him.
shoes, and there's a lot of he's got a
Little
lot of
quirks.
weird.
Yeah, little
Yeah,
quirks.
yeah,
Yeah, he's different.
One
yeah.
team that I have me and Doug, your brother, my father, have talked about of possibly going downhill a little bit. I don't know how much it will be. And I hope that they don't because I'd like to see them do well. But is the Lions. And the reason I have that concern is because after they've done so well the last couple of years, they lost almost their entire coaching staff, besides obviously their head coach. So my concern is, and Dad's concern as well, or thought process is that depending on how he did or how he picked up new coaches or new assistant coaches, that it will, or new defensive coordinator and offensive coordinator, it will continue to have them almost making the Super Bowl after the last couple of years. What do you guys think about that?
I saw a list of like all the people they lost. I didn't realize they lost so many like smaller coaches as well. Like obviously they lost both coordinators, but they lost a ton of
Yeah, they
like
lost
individual like position coaches and all
a
these guys.
large number of
And
coaches.
and based off of last night, if their starters get hurt, they are screwed. So I I'm still high on them. I'm probably still higher on them than a lot of people are, but I don't know. There is some concern to be had that they may have a down year.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, I don't really. I still think they're the team to beat in that division. It's just as you saw last year, number one seed, only one loss, and they just. It'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because I think a lot of the wheels were rolling with Campbell as the head coach already. I mean, they always went for 4th and 1s or 4th and 3, even before Ben Johnson got there and stuff. I don't think their success is surrounded necessarily with the defense. So it'll be kind of interesting. I know that I think the coordinator they brought in came in from Denver. So it'll kind of be interesting. So I still think they're the team to beat in that division, though.
Okay. So Lions for that division. What about the other divisions? I will just start off by saying I am not that well versed in who's in what division, so I'll let you guys handle this because I have no flipping idea who's in what division or really who's in what conference for the most part. So, Braden, who do you think are going to be the division winners, the leads in the divisions this year?
All right, so I'll start in the AFC. In the East, I've got the Bills. I don't see anyone competing against them. They're the dominant team in that division. AFC North, those teams always play each other tough, but it's still Baltimore's division, in my opinion. The South, like I said, Houston's going to win that. Maybe the Jaguars are the only other team in that division I can see giving them a run for their money. The AFC West, I don't have Kansas City winning it. I have Denver. I think Denver is going to be really good. And then in the NFC East, I still think it's Philly. I know that that division, like for like 20 straight years, it's been a different winner every year. But I think Philly repeats as the winner. NFC North, I've got Green Bay. I know he said he has Detroit. I have Green Bay. NFC South, I've still got Tampa. And then the NFC West, I would like to see Seattle win it, but I have the Rams winning the division.
Okay. I know you'd like to see Seattle winning it, but
Yeah.
Did you do wild cards, Bray?
Well, no.
You
I
didn't
just
do
did
wild
division.
cards. Okay. I went ahead and threw in wild cards. The only difference I have is I have the Commanders winning the East. I think that tradition of the East not getting consecutive winners for, I'm kind of high on the Commanders this year. I do have the Eagles making the playoffs. That's why I was asking Braden because I just about took the Cardinals out west. I think the Rams are the better team at this point. I don't trust Stafford's back to hold up. So I'm a little concerned with his age. And so that was kind of a push between the Cardinals, but sorry, bud, I don't think your Seahawks are going to be there.
I don't think Seattle's winning it. I have Arizona as the 4th team in that division. You have them like potentially winning it. San Francisco is better than they are.
Well, I guess we'll see. I don't agree with that.
I didn't know you were.
I think they're going to be right there with the Rams. I I think if Stafford goes down, Cardinals win that division. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we'll see. So,
Hey,
but other than that,
it's
I have to agree. I'm a little higher on the Texans. I think Stroud had his down sophomore year. Nico's back. I Tank Dell. I haven't
I
heard
don't know
his
that that
timetable.
offensive line got. I don't know that that line got any better, and that was the main issue. Dell will be
Yeah,
out all this year too, so
yeah, Tank. Yeah, I still think the Jags are going to be better. I think they'll be second in that division. I don't think they have it. I still think they need one more year under that new coach to kind of get their feet feet wet type thing. So, but yeah, other than that, I agree with everything. I got the Broncos winning. Actually, I can see the Broncos, Chargers, and Chiefs all having like anywhere between 11 and 13 wins. I think all three make the playoffs out of
I
that
can see
division.
that. Yeah,
I think the
I
only
can see
team out west that doesn't make the playoffs are the Raiders in that division. So
which they should be better too, but they're not. They're not in the level those other teams are.
no, not yet. So
football's always going to football.
oh yeah,
Yep.
pretty well.
Okay, so let's switch and go to awards real quick. So,
Yeah.
Braden, who do you have as the
Yeah.
MVP at the end of this year?
Well, I think this is just because we watched that quarterback show. I'm going Joe Burrow. He's eventually going to win one, and obviously I think he would have won it last year if Cincinnati would have won more games. Now, my concern is Cincinnati's defense is going to be even worse than they were last year. They still haven't signed Hendrickson and all that, so he may not win it because if they win 5 games, they're not going to give the MVP to him. But he had the numbers last year to win it. He's eventually going to get one. I think he's a safe bet to say he wins the MVP.
Okay, Doug.
I'm going boring. I got Lamar Jackson. I think every year I'm slowly
That would be his
getting
third, right?
I'm slowly getting more on board. He's throwing better and better every year.
Yeah,
and he's learning when to run, when not to run, and stuff like that. And I think he's just becoming a very well-rounded player. And I'm really high on Baltimore this year on both sides of the ball. And I think he's just going to have another MVP year.
Okay. Doug, how about we'll just stick with you. How about Offensive Player of the Year?
Offense Player of the Year, I have Derrick Henry, once again, from Baltimore. I think I easily could, get 20, 21 touchdowns. He just wears teams down in the third, fourth quarter. That's usually second half where he gets most of his yardage. I think Nico Collins is an interesting pick for me, the receiver for the Texans. He reminds me so much of Megatron, who was Calvin Johnson back from the Detroit days in the late 90s, early 2000s. Mm-hmm. He's built. They can't cover him. He's just got to stay healthy. But he gets separation, and if the ball's anywhere near him, he's gonna out jump everybody, and he's got the speed that if he gets a step on you, he's gone. For his size, it's amazing. Him and Megatron just almost look like spitting images of each other. So, but I still think Derek gets the nod.
Okay, Braden, Offensive Player of the Year.
I went Jahmyr Gibbs. I was looking at his numbers the other day. I didn't realize he had so many. Like his numbers were so good last year. I had Montgomery on my fantasy team, and so I was always worried about, his touches and what he was doing. Gibbs had a really good year last year. I think. I heard they're going to play together more this year on the field at the same time. That'll be interesting, but yeah, I think Gibbs has a really good year.
Okay.
I like that pick. I just don't know if he's going to get enough touches. And I mean, I realize he led the team on touchdowns.
I was thinking, but he had 1,700 yards last year, and he gets catches out of the backfield too. I didn't realize he had a good year last year.
Yeah, and at some point Montgomery will probably get hurt. He always goes down for a few games and stuff, so that may. But Gibbs is the faster back. He's just not got the size. That's why he gave up a lot of touchdowns on the goal line to Montgomery because he's the bigger back.
Like I said, he still had 10, 12 touchdowns. Montgomery had 12 or 13, but
yeah,
I was surprised when I looked at that.
I guess I didn't actually look at the individual numbers, so they probably are better than what I even realized. So,
Nick, Offensive Player of the Year.
I'm going to be honest. I was reading about the St. Louis Rams in 1999 while you guys were talking, so I have no idea.
The greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
Okay. Braden, we'll stick with you again. Defensive Player of the Year.
So I don't know. We haven't talked about our answers to all these. I think this is probably going to be his comeback Player of the Year. I have Aiden Hutchinson winning Defensive Player of the Year. He would have won it last year if he stayed healthy. I think he comes back and has a really good year. I think he gets probably 15 to 20 sacks for sure.
Okay. Doug, what about you?
Okay, Braden is right. Hutchinson is my comeback player of the year,
Okay,
but I actually went with Myles Garrett for Cleveland. I know he won it last year. I think he's going to break the sack record this year. That's another bold prediction. I'm giving all my bold predictions away. But Cleveland's offense sucks, and they're going to suck again this year. So that defense is going to be out there a lot, and
Cleveland
as
just
long as
sucks
he
in
stays
general
healthy,
most of the time.
I really wanted to give Hutchinson both of them, but I don't think they'll give the award to both guys. So I think Garrett's going to break the sack record, get the defensive, and Aiden will get the comeback player of the year. I saw someone that was kind of predicting J.J. McCarthy's going to get comeback player of the year. He never even got on the field. Didn't he get hurt in preseason?
Yeah.
I don't know how you can be comeback player of the year if you didn't even play.
I don't know where you saw that, but
yeah. Well, I don't agree with it.
He's not.
Just saying.
No, you can't. Yeah. No.
I thought you kind of had to get injured during the playing season to be considered a comeback player.
Well, they gave Geno Smith the award, and people were like, he didn't come back from anything. So I mean, I guess he could win it, but
yeah,
I don't know. It's the award's meant for like an injury, coming back from an injury.
That's what I thought. Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Sorry, we're arguing right in the middle of your podcast. So.
That's what it's for. I don't really care. But Braden, who do you have as comeback player of the year then?
So he's not going to agree with this based off what he said earlier, but I have Christian McCaffrey winning this award. If he stays healthy, I've seen so many people like have given up on him. Like he's not what he used to be. If he stays healthy, he's going to have a really good year. So I'm counting on him to stay healthy. But if he does, I think he wins the award.
There's your key word. If he stays healthy.
But,
yeah.
If is a
big, it's a big
word.
if.
Yeah.
It's a big word. Yep.
Yep.
Okay, so we did that. We got bold predictions next. Doug, you've given out like half of yours. So, Braden, bold prediction, who do you think are breakout players?
Breakout players?
Yep.
I have Jackson Smith and Jigger from the Seahawks. I think when he got drafted, we obviously had Lockett and Metcalf, and now this will be his third year. We got rid of Lockett, traded Metcalf. He's going to be the main guy. We signed Cooper Kupp. I think that helps him too. My only concern is they both kind of play that slot receiver role, so that'll be interesting. But I think Njigba could have a really big year. And then I had Bryce Young too, just because I'm high on Carolina, and if he plays like he did the last 5-6 games of the year last year, he could have a really good season as well.
Okay, Doug, who do you have as a breakout player?
Marvin Harrison. I kind of talked about him earlier with the Cardinals and stuff. I heard he bulked up some. Roma Dunze. I do think the Bears are going to be better. Caleb, if he'll get rid of the ball soon enough, he's going to have receivers open. And kind of like Brenton Strange, he's the tight end for the Jags. I think he's going to show some stuff. I was very impressed last year from the small sample we got of him. I think he's really going to be a breakout player this year.
Okay. What about players who are going to disappoint, Doug?
Disappointing players. Well, Braden's going to love me for all this, but Sam Darnold. Unfortunately, his quarterback, I think we're going to get the Sam Darnold we saw the last 2 games of the season. I don't feel good about Russell Wilson with the Giants. Braden, I know you're going to think I jumped on all this, but I have an issue with Cooper Kupp. I don't see it. I think Stafford is a better quarterback than Darnold, and if Stafford couldn't get him the ball, then that tells me it's a separation issue, and Cooper's not getting open. Because if Stafford can't get him the ball, I sure in the world don't think Darnold can. And then I've got I'm not big on Michael Penix, the Atlanta quarterback that they put in there over Cousins. I saw what he did in Washington, but he just looked like a deer in headlights to me in certain games. He didn't see there was just some open throws he was missing. I realize he's a rookie and stuff. And then I got a big question mark of Aaron Rodgers. I know he actually statistically had a pretty good year with the Jets last year, but I think the man just needs to retire. He throws the prettiest ball I've ever seen of any quarterback. It looks so effortless. I just don't
He's getting
I
up
just
there,
don't.
though.
He is. He
Yeah.
is. I just. Yeah. Yeah. He's a question mark. He's kind of on the line. So,
Yeah.
but
All
that's about
right.
it.
Braden, what about you? Players who are going to
I
disappoint.
My top player would be Debo Samuel. I know the Commanders traded for him, but I don't know. I feel like 2019 or something. He was doing everything, and he was a really good player. But he looks out of shape now, and well, it's interesting what happens with McLaurin, because if that situation doesn't get resolved, then potentially he becomes the number one there. But assuming McLaurin stays and all that, I think Debo disappoints, and then I put Stephon Diggs. He's one of the new additions for the Patriots, but I don't. He's like horrible for the locker room. I think he's going to hurt Drake May, because I think May is going to try and force him the ball. I think both those players have disappointing seasons.
Okay.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs is a cancer everywhere he goes. I mean, Buffalo got better when they got rid of him, and he didn't do anything for Stroud last year either. I mean, it was he was more of a distraction than a help. I agree with Braden.
All right. What about top rookies?
I'm interested to see this Raiders running back Ashton Genty. I think we watched a lot of the draft process, especially on like the first and second nights. His highlights are crazy. He's like, I saw a picture of him at a workout or something, and he's built. He's got a lot of muscle. He's the perfect size for a running back. Um, my only concern would be the Raiders' offensive line, but they've already come out and said that he's going to be the focal point of that offense. He's going to get so many touches. So I think he's the top rookie. I'm just excited to see him play.
Okay. Doug?
Yeah, I agree with him. I actually another bold prediction. I have my bold prediction is he's going to get 2,000 yards rushing this year. I think he's going to touch the ball at least 350 times. Pete Carroll loves to run the
That's
ball.
big for a rookie, so.
Yeah, it would be amazing. But I mean, I'm kind of with Braden. I saw the highlights, and he just looks unstoppable if he can get through that initial part of the line, the offensive line. The other one I'm interested in is that Travis Hunter, that went to the Jags. I mean, they say he's going to play both sides of the ball, which actually I think he's better on the defensive side than the offensive. But if he can be productive on both sides, I can kind of see them maybe giving him the rookie of the year, just because he's kind of doing a Deion Sanders thing where you're a receiver and a cornerback or defensive back, whatever. And I'm kind of interested to see what he can do outside of Colorado, where basically it was just him and Sanders. They were a 2-man team out there. So, but he's an interesting character too. So we'll see.
Okay. Any other bold predictions from either one of you?
I only have two. So, well, one of them, I went Mike Evans is not going to reach 1,000 yards, and that may not seem like a bold prediction, but he's got like 11 straight. Every year he's been in the league, he's got 1,000 yards. And last year, it came down to the last play. They had won the game against the Saints, and they go out there, instead of taking a knee, they throw it on third down or whatever and get him the ball, and he gets 1,000 yards. So I think he's going to probably get hurt. He's going to, pull his hamstring or something like he always does. And I think the Bucks drafted that Ohio State guy, that Ibuka, whatever that guy's name is. I think they drafted him. Godwin's coming back. I think he's going to be in like the 900. I think he's going to get to 900 something. I just think he comes up short for the first time in his career. And then I have NFL history for the second one. I think Saquon's going to become the first player to run for 2,000 yards in back-to-back years.
Okay.
They kept that offensive line. They kept basically everybody. And if Saquon can stay healthy, I think they have another good year, and I think he can be. That would be NFL history. That's never happened before. So.
Okay. Doug, any other bold predictions?
Well, I disagree. I think Mike Evans will continue a streak. I think he's just ageless, and there's just something about him. My other one is CeeDee Lamb. I think he's going to break the reception record for a season. That record's 149 catches in a year. He was only 14 short a couple years ago. This year, they actually have another formidable wide receiver. Pickens is out there. If he can get straight between his ears, he's a good player. So I don't think they can constantly just cover CeeDee Lamb. And like I said, even a couple years ago, whenever he was only 14 short, he didn't have someone on the other side. I mean, it was only him, and he was still getting all the receptions. So I think Dak's just going to feed him. I think Pickens is more of a end zone type guy. I can see maybe CD not getting as many touchdowns as Pickens, but I think in between the 20s, he's going to just get a ton of receptions. So I'm predicting him to get break the record of over 149 catches.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. What about Super Bowl 60 predictions? This is 60th Super Bowl. Who do you guys think is going to be in it? We'll start with you, Braden.
So I know he said he's high on Baltimore. I've got them in the Super Bowl,
Okay.
and then I've been high on the Rams this whole episode. I think the Ravens and Rams, Super Bowl 60.
Okay. And who do you think's going to win that one?
I got the Ravens and Eagles. Like I said, I got the Commanders winning that division, but I think when it comes to playoff time, you're going to run the ball through Saquon when it's nice and cold. Jalen can run, push tush or tush push, whatever it is. Yeah, so I've got the Ravens against the Eagles, with the Ravens finally winning it. Like I said, I'm big on Baltimore's on this year. I just think their offense is gonna be great, and I think they just made their defense stronger. So I think they're finally gonna put it all together.
Okay. Out of those two, who do you have winning?
I got the Ravens. Yeah.
Oh, you got the Ravens too.
You guys both have Baltimore. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I have one more question, and then we can get to Nick's game because she looks very bored. I just saw her yawn about 30 seconds ago. And Nick, you can actually take part in this. I don't know if you looked this up or if I sent you the list of things here. And seems like right up your alley. So and I've kept this for last because it kind of is not really football related. But I thought this was interesting. Is best new alternate uniforms. Nick, did you look any of this up?
No, you didn't send me that.
I sent you the whole thing that they sent me. It was on there.
What's alternative uniform?
Huh?
And you want to go, Bray?
What does that mean?
Like different, not just their normal uniforms, like different ones that they'll wear.
Teams have a typical home and away uniform, and these are maybe a throwback from back in the 40s or 50s or 60s, or they've just changed the helmet, or they. Yeah. So they came. There was I think Braden 15 teams with some alternate uniforms.
So far there's been 10, but then eight teams later this month they're going to get rivals jerseys, and so there's going to be 15, 18 new jerseys. Yeah.
Yeah. So Braden, what's your favorite one so far?
So I don't know if you've seen this, but I went with Green Bay. They look very similar to Illinois, and I see. Yeah.
Yeah. That one's cool looking.
I like the old the wooden helmet or something.
It looks like leather. It looks like the old leather helmet. Yeah.
Yeah, I really like those. I like the Chargers as well. I've seen a lot of people don't like the all yellows. I think those are really sharp, but I think Green Bay has the best.
Those are the two that I picked out as well. I like the helmet from Green Bay, and I like the all bright yellow from the Chargers. Those are the two I picked out the most. Yeah. Doug, was there any that you liked specifically?
I like the creamsicle of the Tampa Bay. Those, and actually, Braden, I like the Seahawks ones that they're going to go back to.
The all white.
Yeah.
They haven't revealed those yet, but everybody knows they're going to bring them. So
yeah, I kind of like those. But that and the creamsicle. So those are the old Tampa.
I just
kind of like them. So I don't think the Houston I say Houston Oilers. That's what they used to be. But the Texans, there's that baby blue with red but I don't know whether that's this year.
That's not new. That's not new. They've worn that.
That's one of my all-time favorites. But for this year, it'd be the creamsicle or the Seahawks ones back from I think it's mid to late 90s when they had those.
Ooh, the Steelers are doing a 1933 throwback. I like theirs. That's cool.
Is that the one with the big triangle, yellow and black triangle thing on the front? Yeah, I saw that one too. That one wasn't bad. I think it's better looking than the Bumblebee. I don't care for the big Bumblebee looking one that looks like they're all prisoners in a jail, but that's just my opinion on that one. So, but yeah, it is what it is. So, okay, Nick, you said you had a game for us this week, so
I do. Yeah.
Let's move on to this.
So it's gonna be like a Who Am I game.
Okay.
So each person, and you should know these because I knew 3 of these, so hopefully if that tells you anything, it's not going to be very hard. So it's Who Am I? I'll give 3 clues, but you can guess after the first clue if you know it right away, and then it's just whoever answers first. Okay, so I'll start super easy. This one I knew. Okay, Clue 1. I've played for both the Patriots and the Buccaneers.
Brady.
Brady. Yeah.
I told you it's easy. Okay. Number 2. So, clue 1. I was a top 5 draft pick. That doesn't get much away. I played college ball at LSU. I helped take the Bengals to the Super Bowl.
Burrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Alrighty. Clue 1. I led the league in rushing touchdowns last year. I play for a team in the NFC. I wear number 4 and just got traded to the Texans. This one's harder.
Who'd you say, Brady?
I said Saquon, but that's obviously not right.
Led the league in rushing touchdowns. Plays for a team in the NFC. Wears number 4. Just got traded to the Texans.
Well, I'm drawing blank.
That last clue's throwing me off. I don't know.
It says the answer is Joe Mixon.
We all felt that one.
Why did I think he was already with the Texans?
He was there
I
last
don't
year,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, he was there last year.
Maybe these are old. I did not fact
Okay,
check
I was gonna
these.
say that's what I think was throwing me off because he was
Sorry.
he was with the Texans last year. So
Oh.
Okay.
We are
I'm
insufficient.
insufficient.
We are insufficient. So
I didn't fact check my facts. Okay. This one I knew. I was proud of myself for this. Okay. So, clue number 1, I'm known for my speed and big play ability. Clue number 2, I was traded to Miami in 2022.
Tyreek.
Yeah. Okay. We'll do a couple more. Okay. Clue number 1, I led the league in passing yards in 2023. Clue number 2, I wear number 17 and play in the AFC.
Josh
Allen.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Clue number 1, I was drafted in the 6th round. I don't know why these are those. Okay.
Brady?
Brady.
Is this one Brady too?
Makes me think Brady.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
No?
Clue
Oh.
number 2, I took over as starting quarterback in San Francisco.
Purdy.
Yeah. The
Yeah,
last
Brock
clue
Purdy.
was they call me Mr. Irrelevant.
Yeah, well, for being that, he got a hefty payday in the off season. That's for sure.
Let's do just a couple more. Okay, I said I wasn't going to do this one, but I'm going to do this one. Okay, clue number 1, I've won 2 Super Bowl MVPs. Clue number 2, I'm the face of State Farm commercials.
Mahomes.
No, that's Mahomes. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's do one more. Okay. Clue number 1, I played for the Seahawks most of my career.
Well, Braden's got this one.
Clue number 2, let's ride.
Oh, Russ, yeah.
Yeah, and the last
I don't
one
even
was
know
I
if you
now
get
play
that
for
one,
the
Dad.
Denver Broncos.
I probably would have needed one more clue.
Once we got to the Broncos, I think we would have got it. But
I didn't get it before you did. So.
Speaking of the Broncos, I think the Chiefs play them on Christmas this year. I have the schedule pulled
think
up.
it's
What?
Yeah,
I think
I have
it's
been
in Kansas City, I
begging-
think. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been begging for that to be my Christmas present, but so far no luck.
What? You guys have been going to a game every year for the last few years. What are you guys going to a game this year? What are you guys going to another game this year or no?
We don't have one planned, but
Okay.
No, the last one we went to, we saw the Seahawks down in Dallas. But yeah, we really haven't discussed the schedule because it pretty well be go.
Yeah, the only game we could go to would be Nashville because they play the Titans this year on the road, which that would be drivable, but that'd be the only game we could go to.
Okay.
Yeah, because he doesn't really want to just go to a random game. He wants to see the Seahawks play. So,
That makes sense.
And last year, they were at Chicago, which is drivable, but it was either the day before or after Christmas. So
It
it's
was
like
it was the 26th. It was the
the
day
day
after Christmas.
after.
We would have been traveling like during Christmas Eve or something. Like it was.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was just they need to come to the Midwest away from Christmas because that's, I mean, when we saw them play the Chiefs, it was on Christmas Eve. So they just need to come kind of within 4 to 6 hours, either, you know, late January or sometime. My gosh, you got 4 months before Christmas. You think they could come sometime earlier than that, but it's
Yeah.
just the way the schedule always works out.
I remember that Christmas game. Me and my dad were making fun of you two because it was like that was the day that it was like -4 degrees or whatever outside, and you guys were sitting at the football stadium watching a football
We
game.
we went shopping way before that because he was looking at the weather like it's going to be cold. So
Yeah.
It's easy to
I
bundle
bought
up and stay
clothes or
warm.
he bought clothes that I'm never going to wear again. So
No?
Oh yeah. Braden can move to Alaska. He's set. And in all honesty, the only thing that got cold on us was our toes. But we were going. Fortunately, we could go where it was a little warmer in between quarters, and really, it wasn't too bad. I think by the time the game was over, it got up to 11, which I know sounds cold, but when you start and it's 4 below when the game started or something, it was
Yeah.
almost like a heat wave.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
but that was the week that like all across like the Midwest,
Everywhere
like
was cold.
Cleveland
Yes.
or Chicago was freezing, somewhere else was freezing. Like it
Mhm.
was.
Yep.
yeah, it was miserable.
One of the Chiefs games I went to last year, it was positive, but it was like 4 or 5 degrees. But I was sweating because we over prepared with like the hand warmers, the like 3 layers of clothes under your coat, and it was too hot, like with all the people there.
Yeah, I never, like I said, we didn't really get too hot, or I don't think Braden and I did. Like I said, I think it was mainly our toes, and most of the people around us that were warm is because they were drunk. But for the most part, people were bundled up. But I wish Braden would have got to see the experience of having Arrowhead packed because I don't think it was probably 2/3. And I mean, normally even for a Christmas Eve game, I think it would have been packed, but the weather kept people away, and I don't think when the which the Seahawks only come back to the Arrowhead every 8 years because they only play every 4. So the next time it'll be in Seattle. But I'd love to take Braden back, or we could go back when they come back because I'd love for him to just get the full feel of what Arrowhead's like when it's just jam packed, and he just didn't get the full experience of that.
Mhm.
They'll be back in 2030. Yeah, they play next year, but it's up in Seattle.
Yeah.
Not too far away.
Nah, just across country.
Just a small trek.
Yeah.
Small trek. Okay, I think it's time for facts. Braden, we'll start with you.
Yep.
What's your fun fact for this week?
So this is Seattle themed. I didn't know this. I was just looking up stuff. So the Seahawks obviously start with, or that's their team name, but Seattle, the city, starts with SEA, and the Seahawks starts with the SEA. That's the only team. They're the only team in the league with the same first 3 letters in their city and team name. I didn't know that.
Interesting. Just kind of a random oddity, isn't it?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I started looking at other teams. I'm like, yeah, no, we're the only one.
Yeah. Okay. Doug, you said you went entirely off topic with this one.
I did. Braden's probably going to laugh because before Braden moved out, I there's something about I don't know. I'm kind of weird in this way, but just if I want to relax, I'll watch either a TV show or a movie that I've probably already seen 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So
Get that.
one of my favorite movies is Jaws, and of
It's
course
a
they just
great
celebrated
movie. 50 years.
they-
Yes.
I know, on June 19th, 1975 is when it came out. So I was looking up some interesting facts about it. So I don't know if you remember, but when Hooper, Richard Dreyfuss' character, they cut the shark open on the dock to see if it's really the right shark, if the little boy's in there. He's like, he makes a comment of just like I thought. He came up from the Gulf and he throws out a license plate, and the license plate's Louisiana, and it's 007981. Well, that license plate also shows up in 3 other movies as like a homage to the movie. It also shows up in Shark Tales, Deep Blue Sea, and the first Wreck-It Ralph, not the second Wreck-It Ralph, which they never should have made because that was embarrassing. But in all 3 of those movies, that exact license plate it's kind of like an Easter egg in those three movies, and I just thought that was kind of a neat little
Interesting.
little tidbit. So,
there's another about that movie that I thought was funny is so the shark when it's the one that's hanging when they first catch it, the shark that they hang up in the marina is a real shark. And you can actually see people in the background like almost vomiting because it apparently smelled terrible because they had it shipped
yeah,
up from the Gulf.
they brought it up from Florida.
Yeah, they bought it up from
Yeah,
Florida.
I had read that too.
And the people in Martha's Vineyard, which is where the movie was filmed, were so irritated with Steven Spielberg for not getting local people to catch a shark for the movie that they caught one and put it on his doorstep at his hotel during filming of the movie, just to annoy the crap out of him.
Interesting.
So
I had not heard that. Did you watch that behind that documentary they put out on the 50th anniversary? I think it may be either on Disney or HBO Max, but it's like about an hour and 20 minutes long. But it's really well done, and you get to see a lot of the behind the scenes on all the. Obviously, they named it Bruce. I mean, there was many names that they had, which I kind of thought was funny when Finding Nemo. The shark name in Finding Nemo's Bruce.
Yep.
But if you get a chance, catch the documentary. It's real interesting on how they did everything.
I'll have to look at that because I know a lot of the random facts behind it because there's a lot of random stuff to it. I know the shark was supposed to be more prominent because it was, but it just didn't work because it just didn't work. So they came out with a musical a few years ago that is called The Shark Didn't Work or The Shark Doesn't Work or something like that. That's like a musical stage adaptation of the movie. So it's a off-Broadway thing, so it's kind of a dumb little thing.
I liked the ride at Disney World, but I don't like the movie.
That would be Universal, not Disney World, but yes.
Or sorry, Universal, whatever. Same thing to me. All in the same area. But the movie, because Kevin made me watch it for a movie episode, and I did not enjoy it. Because I like more storyline and less action. So it's just
I just like how they all interacted with each other. I mean, I don't need all the special effects. It's just the interaction. I mean, Richard Dreyfuss and Richard Shaw, who plays Quint, they literally did not like each other. I mean, they had disdain for each other. But when they're in the boat and he's telling the story about the USS Indianapolis and stuff, they tried to film that once, and he wanted to have a drink or two, and I guess he got so drunk that he couldn't film it. So they put it off till the next day. But they pretty well did that like in one shot, and they didn't when he started going, they didn't cut that at all. And I just think that's so cool how you could just see they all put together, and they were bonding over something going on, even though they really in real life didn't like each other. But you couldn't tell it on the. I thought they did well. I don't think you could really tell a lot of it on the screen. So, but
yeah,
interesting.
It's a great movie. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, 50 years is kind of crazy that just happened. So, Nick, what is your fun fact for this week?
Yeah, so mine is about the St. Louis Rams because like my sports knowledge is like 2 years of the Rams and the 2006 Cardinals World Series team and then the Chiefs now because it's just wherever I live. So, when the Rams first moved from LA to St. Louis, the dome wasn't done. So they played their first couple games at Busch Stadium. So they played in the Cardinal Stadium for a while. I think just a couple games. I think it was finished pretty soon after that. But then someone said this earlier, maybe it was you, Kev, but I remember Kurt Warner and their offense and the greatest show on turf and their offense and everything being so memorable. And then the rest of my life, they sucked. But
yeah, pretty much.
My facts.
A lot of football teams, or several football teams, used to play on baseball fields. They would share. I think wasn't the Coliseum
did for years.
Yeah, the Coliseum in Oakland was both.
Yeah.
Was Candlestick as well? Was that in San Francisco before they tore it down?
Yeah, they did there too.
So that was a pretty common thing. It was interesting to see the baseball diamond because they would still have the dirt from the baseball diamond in the field in the middle of the football field. So
Yeah.
That's interesting.
So, mine is college football. So, kind of along the same lines, but
Yeah, which is crazy because I mean they had more than enough money to build stadiums back then too. I mean, it's just that they even had to share them. So I mean, I guess I kind of get the Giants and Jets there share a stadium, but that stadium there in New York is just unreal. And
yeah.
I mean, it's always in use between concerts and, soccer, football, whatever and stuff. But to have to share with a baseball stadium when there's billions upon billions of dollars that these guys, these owners have, it's crazy that it was ever that way to begin with.
Yeah.
So,
And I wonder if there was a difference back in the day that they just didn't think they could make enough money off of them or something, like if they have more concerts and venues that they use now or something. I wonder what's changed, because obviously something had to have changed or they wouldn't have
well, I
done it
think
in
it's
the
the
first
TV
place.
deals. I think there's so much money with the TV deals because I mean, used to growing up, your dad and I and grandma and grandpa would go to church on Sunday nights. And, a lot of times, there were certain games that were on like tape delay and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
it was, but you didn't have back then baseball was bigger than
That's
football. And at some point it changed. But the TV rights and all these deals are just, and they're not, I mean, don't get me wrong. They're making a profit on their attendance, but that's not where they're making their money. They're making it off their TV deals.
Yeah,
So
for sure. So the longest winning streak in college football ran from 1953 to 1957. It was the University of Oklahoma. It was 47 consecutive games.
interesting.
That is a lot.
I think that is.
I don't know how you don't just randomly lose a game in the course of 4 years. I mean, I guess that was a long time ago, maybe that's part of it, but nowadays I think you'd randomly lose a game in that amount of time, but
Yeah, it's probably a very different game now, but I would be curious to see what the scores were. Like, was it a blowout for all those years? Were there any close games? That'd be interesting to see.
yeah, I don't know. That would be interesting to see. Well, I think that's about it for this week. Do you guys have any last thoughts on football before we wrap it up? No? Anything
I don't.
I sure don't.
I don't think so, Braden. Did you have anything else written down that you wanted to talk about or something? I think that's. I mean, I have down like coach of the year. I think it'll be that Jonathan Gannon from Arizona. I don't know if you put anything down for, and then I know we were talking about rookies of the year, and I did put down a defensive rookie of the year, but I don't. They don't.
No, I
do they
didn't have
do?
anything else.
Yeah. So that was just a couple of little odds and ends I had, but I think we covered pretty well most of everything. So
Okay.
yeah.
Well, that was a lot of fun, guys.
Thanks
like I
for
said,
joining us.
thanks for
Yeah.
joining us. I'm amazed that
Yeah.
we're already back to another season after just doing the Super Bowl one. So we'll have to have you guys on again, if not before the Super Bowl, then at least for the Super Bowl whenever we get back to that time. So
We could do like after the regular season, like the playoffs.
playoffs,
Predict the playoffs. I don't know.
yeah, we'll
Like a playoff preview type thing.
playoff
Yeah,
preview and then a
that's what I
Super
was
Bowl
thinking.
preview. Yeah, for sure. Well, thanks again, guys, for coming on. It was fun. I'm sure Nikki is bored out of her mind, so we'll put her out of her misery. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and we will talk to you guys next week.
Bye.
Yeah.